Okay, you're going to want to pay attention to this. Something huge just happened inside ChatGPT. We're talking about two major upgrades that completely change the game, not just in how smart it is, but in how it can actually get work done for you completely on its own. Seriously? The AI assistant that you've been using? It's evolved. We're talking a leap so big, it's almost like using a brand new tool. And here's the kicker. It's not just one update. It's two massive, interconnected revolutions happening at the same time. Think of it like this. ChatGPT just got a way more powerful brain for thinking and a brand new set of hands for doing, ready to go to work for you 24/7. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at what these two huge upgrades actually are. Then we'll properly introduce the new brain, GPT 5.5, and then your new digital team, the hands, which are called Workspace Agents. After that, we'll dive into how they actually work and, most importantly, how you can put them to work for you. So yeah, you're essentially getting two things at once. A brilliant new strategist, which is the brain, powered by GPT 5.5, and an autonomous team of tireless digital workers, the hands, called Workspace Agents, that are ready to execute on that strategy. Let's start with that brain. GPT 5.5 is the new engine that's now automatically running under the hood of ChatGPT for your toughest tasks. And let me be clear, this is not just some small incremental update. This thing sets a whole new bar for what an AI can do when it comes to reasoning, coding, and even scientific analysis. And I mean, just look at this performance gap. It's kind of staggering, right? GPT 5.5 doesn't just squeak by its top competitors like Claude Opus and Gemini Pro. It establishes a whole new league of its own. This jump in performance means it can tackle problems with a level of complexity that was frankly out of reach before. It is, without a doubt, the new leader in raw AI power. So where does all this new power really shine? Well, let's look at three key areas. First, something called agentic coding. This is its ability to pretty much act like a real software developer, planning and building complex coding projects from the ground up. We're talking about building entire apps, like a space mission simulator or an interactive earthquake tracker. Second, it's a beast at sophisticated knowledge work, creating those super detailed financial models or complex business presentations. And third, it's a massive accelerator for scientific research, capable of crunching complex data and even coming up with new hypotheses. But this isn't just about better performance on a chart. It's about a totally different feeling when you use it. Developers are all saying the same thing, and this quote really sums it up. It genuinely feels like I'm working with a higher intelligence. We're moving from just using a tool to actually collaborating with a partner. Okay, so now let's connect that brilliant new brain to its tireless new hands. This is where Workspace Agents come in. Think of these as little automations built on OpenAI's Codex model, which is a specialist in writing code, that are designed to act like a digital team for you, around the clock. So what exactly is a Workspace Agent? The simplest way to think about it is like a digital employee that you can train. You set it up to run on a schedule or react to a specific trigger. You connect it to the tools you already use, and you give it a step-by-step process to follow. It then just goes to work on its own, freeing up your team from all that repetitive stuff. And the best part is, you don't even have to start from zero. There are a bunch of pre-built templates for common business tasks. I mean, just imagine an agent that automatically checks every new software request against your company policy, or one that watches your Slack channels for product feedback and automatically creates support tickets. Or how about an agent that pulls all the data and sends out the weekly metrics report every Friday without anyone having to lift a finger? So who gets to start using this awesome new feature right now? Well, Workspace Agents are currently being rolled out to anyone on a business, enterprise, education, or teacher plan. So if you're on one of those, you can literally start building your digital team today.
Okay, so we know what they are, but to really use them well, we need to pop the hood and understand how they work. Let's take a look at the anatomy of an agent to see how they actually think and act for you.
Every single agent is built on 5 core parts. Let's use an example. Say, an agent that creates sales reports. First, you give it an objective. Compile the weekly sales report. Simple enough. Second, you set the trigger, every Friday at 5 p.m. Third is the process, the step-by-step playbook. Log into Salesforce, export the data, make charts in Google Sheets, and then draft an email summary. Fourth, you give it the tools it needs to do the job: Salesforce, Google Sheets, and Gmail. And finally, and this is crucial, you set the governance rules. If sales are down by more than 20%, don't send the report. Instead, escalate it to the sales manager. See how that works? All right, now for the part that really matters. How do you actually do this? Let's walk through how to connect your workplace and set up the controls you need to manage your new automated team like a pro. To make your agents truly powerful, you've got to give them access to your tools. And it's actually a really simple 3-step process. In your settings, you just go to Personalization. From there, you pick Apps and Connectors to see what's already hooked up, and then you just hit Add More to browse and connect all your other apps, your CRM, your project management tool, whatever you use. The more context you give your agents, the smarter they can work. Now, for any business, control and oversight are absolutely non-negotiable, and these enterprise features are built for exactly that. The custom governance rules let you decide precisely when an agent needs to stop and ask a human for help. The analytics dashboard gives you total visibility into what your agents are doing, tracking every single task. And of course, the whole thing is built on enterprise-grade security to ensure compliance. So here's the real takeaway here. These tools aren't just some cool new feature. For any company, they are a genuine strategic asset. They give you a clear path to boosting productivity by automating all that grunt work, while at the same time, making sure you stay in complete control and compliant. And that brings us to the final and I think most important question. You now literally have the ability to build a digital team that works for you 24/7, tirelessly following your instructions with total precision. So, what's the first repetitive, time-sucking task that you're going to hand over to them?